What up, though, y'all? It's Chris. Appreciate you connecting with me while I do my 10,000 steps. I'm finishing them up before I get to go in there and enjoy the Lions game. So I hope y'all appreciate my sacrifices. Y'all know that I've been all into the Lions football, so I'm sacrificing going to support my team in order to come out here and make sure I connect with y'all first. So let's get into the topic at hand, which is voting. So y'all know yesterday I was at Youmacon, and took the boys there. They had a fantastic time, but as I was on my way in, they had people all out there, all over, and they were basically making sure that people were registered to vote. So, young lady stopped me, and she asked me if I was registered to vote. I told her yes, I was, and she was like, "Oh, great. Who are you voting for?" Which I thought was a very odd thing to ask because, that's private. You're not supposed to ask people who they're voting for. That is a private thing. But, I didn't feel any sort of way about it. I'm not, ashamed of how I'm going to vote in any way, shape, or form. So I was like, "You really want to know?" And she was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Not Kamala." And she just got this goofy look on her face, and she was like, "Well, it's whatever, it's fine." So that cracked me up. She said it's whatever, it's fine, but I could tell, she was a bit annoyed by it and a little surprised by it. But here's the thing, man. This whole idea that you must vote a certain way because you look a certain way is ridiculous, right? You don't need to vote Democrat because you're black, and that expectation that you vote Democrat because you're black is not only silly, it needs to be corrected. I don't think I ever realized before just how they really do believe that because I'm black that I'm just automatically supposed to vote Democrat. It's like I come out of the womb and I'm immediately a Democrat. And for the longest time, they were right. I did just kind of vote Democrat because that's like how I was told to vote. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something that's even more insightful. I was always told by various different people that basically conservatives were racist. All conservatives were racist. Now, I didn't know any better, so I kind of believed this, but I've learned over the years not to think that. Like, that's just not true. Now, even though I still voted Democrat, I still, I didn't buy into the narrative that all conservatives are racist, or if they're white and conservative, they're racist. But that for real was the message that was always being preached in order to kind of keep us in line, to keep us continuing to vote one way. Because if you paint the other side out to be so bad, so horrible, so negative, well, you don't want to be like them, so you're going to continue to stay on this side, the right side. And boy, was I wrong. So you have this phenomena lately of many black men basically waking up to how the Democrat Party operates and choosing to go our own way from it. And it's really got a lot of people upset. I've never seen people so upset over you exercising your right to vote for who you'd like to vote for instead of who they think you should vote for. But here we are, and they come up with all this sort of nonsense. Basically, they want to shame you. I don't get this. It's all these shaming tactics that just never work, but they continue to double, triple, and quadruple down on them anyway. You're an Uncle Tom if you're voting Republican. You're a coon if you're voting Republican. You're an Oreo. Just all this silly stuff. You always got those black folks that want so hard for white folks' approval. I'm not voting conservative for none of those reasons. I'm voting conservative because I realize that the Democrat Party simply is not moving in interest of myself and my family. And they really haven't been for years. But it took me a while to like fully take this in. It took me a while to like really accept this. And now that I'm there, I'm just like, man, I wish I would have woke up to this sooner. Because I just think back, you go back to Biden. If you don't vote for me, you ain't black. I mean, what a silly thing to imply. But that's what he implied. I should have seen the signs there. That's what should have been my, as Charlemagne calls it, Negro wake-up call. That should have been it there when he said that. But no, I still didn't. But it was over the course of this Biden-Harris administration. The Negro wake-up call for me was when Kamala flat out said that she wasn't going to do things specifically for black folks. Now, I had already long since gotten over the delusion that the Democrat Party was for me before she had said that. I guess that was just icing on the very shitty cake, if you will. And she said that, I'm like, these people do not care about doing anything for black folks. And it's like, okay, should they do things specifically for black folks? Well, maybe. Because you are expecting my vote, but what are you going to do for it? This is kind of like how exchange works. If you give me my vote, I promise to do this and that for you. But they were not doing that. That's why I say, should they do something for us? Well, I mean, if they just want us to fall in line and vote for them, yeah, I think they should. But they wouldn't do that. They flat out say, we're not going to do anything for black folks, and then show up and want our votes. They were so comfortable with just getting our votes without any work whatsoever that they started being bold enough to get on the news and say this, like, hey, we're just going to get their votes and we're not going to do anything. I mean, they didn't flat out say that we're going to get their votes and we're not going to do anything for them, but them having the gall to like be laughing and so flip about we're not going to do anything for them, that's the message that they were sending. So you can't get any clearer than that they really thought that they were just going to get our votes election cycle after election cycle after election cycle, and they weren't ever going to do anything for us. They didn't have to do anything for us. I mean, it's our own fault. For years and years and years and years and years, we're talking about decades and decades and decades, they were able to just get our votes without ever having to do anything for us. And so they got used to that. So I don't blame them for thinking, hey, we're just going to get their votes no matter what. So we don't even have to try. And when they saw, at least Kamala, this time around, that black vote was ass. All right, when they saw that, they got to panicking. Why else do you think that they're getting every black pro athlete they possibly can, every black actor they possibly can, every black rapper / entertainer they possibly can, all coming out talking about, oh, we support them, because they think that, oh, if they get enough famous people who really aren't like us, but if they get enough famous people to say, hey, this is how I'm voting, that we'll want to be just like them and get out and vote for them too. No, them people ain't like us. As I said before, following what's the name, Kendrick Lamar's song, they ain't like us. They not like us. They not like us, because they ain't like us, man. They really not. These people, they do not know the same struggles that you know. All right. They are not affected by the prices of things. They may not like paying more than they have to for these things, but they're not affected by them the same way that you are. So it doesn't matter how many of them come out of the woodwork and claim that they endorse Kamala. They're not like us. They're not like us. In truth, they're not going to be all that affected regardless of who's in office. So this is how you know that they're just on the payroll. They're doing what they're told. And I'm not listening to no puppet. I'm not going out to the polls based on the suggestions of a damn puppet. So I'm gonna leave it there, y'all. It's getting dark. Let me go and get out of here. I need to get home and watch that dang on Lions game. I ain't gonna say Green Bay sucks, but I did like the fact that Sun God was wearing a Green Bay sucks shirt. I got a homie that he loves the Packers, and I'm gonna be texting him. Well, only if they win it. You know, if they not, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. But if they win it, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna have to do some smack talk to him. But let me get out of here, y'all. Later.